Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard this evening as we get set up to discuss a little bit of Evander Kane and a little bit of Stan Bowman today as the Edmonton Oilers obviously closing in now officially on the NHL trade deadline. Just, we're getting within that striking distance of it, that 2 month mark. And the Oilers still a lot to be decided. The hunt for a top right-hand D continues. The hunt for a possible bottom six bigger center continues. And oh, by the way, don't forget for the Edmonton Oilers as well, shopping might not be complete at just that. As David Paynoda mentioned, the Oilers still maybe somewhat interested in John Gibson. Whether I think that's a good idea or not is not for me to decide. Again, I'll just report kind of what's going floating around out there. And for the Oilers, there's a whole bunch because we don't quite yet know fully what the update on Evander Kane is. I'll kind of have where Stan Bowman's at here in a matter of moments, but if you are new to the channel, of course, you can always skip ahead too. Don't sit here and feel like you have to listen to me yammer on about nothing. You can always hit that subscribe button too as well. Definitely would love to have you aboard for more Edmonton Oilers content as we close in on the NHL trade deadline. I will warn you there will be plenty of trade rumor videos simply because you talk about it all and something hits eventually and away you go. You know what? Yeah, don't put your eggs all in one basket. That's what I've learned here on YouTube over the past 6 years. So what we go to is today's article via Mark Spector on Sportsnet. This rolled out about 4 hours from the time of recording this video. Bowman talked with Spector and basically just discussed things following the meetings in Boston today and kind of how the offer sheets and all the ramifications of that, and really not much groundbreaking coming out of it. I think for most of you, if you go through it, a lot of high praise for the Oilers that were here and the Oilers that are new, stepping up and contributing in ways, right? And I think specifically in Ty Emberson and Vasily Podkolzin got a whole bunch of praise in that article. And for the Oilers as well, just making the adjustments they needed to as the season wore on. And now it's just fine-tuning the details and continuing to win hockey games, which is exactly what we've done following late November the past 2 years. And you know what, we did it a little later the year before, but still did it. And the Oilers have seen positive results year in, year out, going to at least Game 6 or Round 2 every single year, dating back 3 years now. So, you include a third round appearance, you include a second round, and a Stanley Cup Finals Game 7 appearance. The Oilers, despite not having a cup, have come almost as close as any other team in the NHL has to winning without winning one over the past 3 years. So basically, to get to what you're getting at here today with the Evander Kane update, as I kind of prolonged that a little bit longer, I thought a little bit more to say. Maybe I should have recorded something sooner today. Hey, maybe I should have hustled home. Who knows? Inside that article with Mark Spector today, Stan Bowman, as he was interviewed by Sportsnet, had some updates on Evander Kane's progress. Sportsnet asking, how is Evander Kane's progress? Stan Bowman replying with, I don't have any new update right now. Evander has been doing his rehab, but as far as his timeline and all that, I don't have anything new to share. Now that is where we understand we sit. That is where we kind of know generally we're waiting on things. That was the update from David Paynoda the other day, and we just continue to play this waiting game, trying to figure out what the salary cap implications are ultimately going to be for an Oilers team that could have, nearly as much as I think the math works out to be about $7.5 to $8 million of cap space on deadline day if they correctly use things. So Sportsnet then follows up with, you'll need to know soon, no? With the trade deadline 2 months away. Again, this is where I've been harping home in this video. You kind of understand what I'm getting at, is this is a big time deal breaker for the Edmonton Oilers when it comes to the NHL trade deadline. So what Stan Bowman replies to that is, it's very true. We'll need clarity on that for sure when he's available and all that stuff. And it can impact how much cap space we have. They do go hand in hand, and we should be getting an update very soon. So there you have it. Your title of the video comes from that slide right there, talking about the update for Evander Kane. I think we've kind of known over the past week or two that something with Evander Kane is coming down the pipeline relatively soon. And now Stan Bowman saying very soon. See, the update is getting closer and closer by the day. That is naturally how injury recovery happens. but you understand here as well for the Oilers is having insiders report it. That's nice, that's dandy, but having the actual GM tease the carrot there on the end of the stick and say, hey, look, it's coming very soon. This could very much so impact kind of the Oilers season, whether you get a fully healthy Evander Kane who's ready to rip and be an impact player for the last, 25, 30 games of the year, or you get an Evander Kane that's rested, ready to go and be a contributor come playoff time for a team that sorely, desperately needs to pick up the hits category. Just not even to stop getting out hit. It's just make life on the opposition a little bit more difficult. That's really all it comes down to. I'm never going to be the one screaming for the Oilers to out hit the other team because honestly, I don't know what you're doing if you're screaming for the Oilers to out hit the other team. You're wasting your breath, is what I feel you're doing, and is what I feel I would be doing if I was screaming for the Oilers to out hit the other team. Again, it's not a competition of who can get more hits when it comes to the Oilers. It's just basically be in the fight. That's all I care. Again, you don't have to outrun the team like Boston did to us last night. No, you just keep it to a 3-2, keep it to a 4-3 ratio, not a 2-1, not a 4-1 kind of ratio, and the Oilers will be just dandy and fine in the NHL playoffs. Evander Kane is a big part of that. Obviously, there's some other guys on the Oilers lineup where Kasperi Kapanen, I think, is really going to benefit playing bottom 6 minutes in the playoffs for the Oilers, desperate and hungry to claw to a job like he is this year. Vasily Podkolzin will be an absolute weapon in the playoffs. Don't kid yourself there. If he continues to maintain his time in regular rotation 5-on-5, the Oilers have a lot of options. But again, getting that update on Evander Kane very soon is going to give us a lot more clarity as to kind of how to solve several problems on this Oilers team. That is the thing, right? Is Evander Kane is not a single piece player, right? He's not a guy that just scores goals. He's not a guy that just gets to the net. He's a guy X, Y, and Z that only does this. He's a guy that touches so many facets of the game. It's unbelievable. When he's healthy, the contributor that he can be. When he's engaged, the contributor that he can be. And you know what? We have had zero problems with him being engaged here in Edmonton. It is just simply the health factor for Evander Kane has not been there the majority of his time in Edmonton. And should he be healthy throughout the playoffs, I don't know. You get me in a Game 7, even in Florida this year, to run back the Stanley Cup Finals, I think it plays out much, much different for the Edmonton Oilers. Do you win? I don't know if I want to throw down on that quite yet. But does the game finish 2-1? I don't think so. That's where I'll leave it right there with you. So, friends, stay tuned. An Evander Kane update coming very soon, according to Stan Bowman. But for right now, that'll do it for me this afternoon, this evening, this morning. Whenever you're getting a chance to tune in to today's video, I am up on out of here.